What's up, YouTube? I'm Super Dan the Shoe Man, and I'm back with another video today. I've just been going through all these spurts of not recording any videos and then recording like 3 or 4 and giving you those over the few weeks. I think it had been like a month since I posted a video more recently than I posted 1 or 2. I've got a couple more recorded, but this one I needed to get out because I got them late. And before we go any further with this video, we got to have a word from our sponsor, Peyton, who's behind the camera today. Who's our sponsor? Jesus. This was kind of a request from Brendan JB. He commented on my last video. I think it was my last video. I don't even remember what he said now. But I said, hey, do you have any recommendations for some word from our sponsor? And he said something about being a father because he's a new father. And I say, I got 4 kids. There's one right there. There's one that's already out of the house. There's a 12-year-old and then a 2.5-year-old. And so it's been a long time since I've had a baby. And now I got this 2.5-year-old, and I mean, it's just been a really long time since I've had a baby. So, being a new dad is actually, even though I'm an old dad, being a new dad is not that unfamiliar to me because I kind of had to start over. So, this is what I got. This is Romans 8:15 and 16. For you did not receive the spirit of bondage again to fear, but you received the spirit of adoption, by whom we cry out, Abba, Father. The Spirit Himself bears witness with our spirit, that we are children of God. And there's something in this devotional that I read that was really personal, because I think Peyton's probably heard me talk about it quite a bit. Like when we talk about at church, whether it's in a message at church or what did I say this was? Like a devotional like this, we talk about being set free, and I'm like, yeah, but set free for what? What is freedom? And I know that we had somebody, I said this in my last video, we had somebody in our middle school class that said something, and I can't even remember what she said. I need to ask her, but I haven't been back to church because I've been sick for a while. But this kind of talked about that too. And it's, unless we can see God as our Abba Father, and I don't even know what language it is, but whatever that is, like they didn't even want to, the people that have translated the Bible in a lot of different ways, they didn't even want to translate that word, because it's not just Father. And God, Jesus called God His Father all the time, and it was to help us understand this relationship. And Abba is just a different form of the word Father. And if we can't see Him as our Abba Father, then we're going to have this spirit of bondage and fear of God. And that's an Old Testament type fear of God, where it's like a slave-ish kind of a fear, where we're not seeing God as our Father who loves us and just wants us to come up to Him and, have our arms up in the air and want to hug. Instead, we see Him more like a judge, which a dad in real life does that sometimes too, but there's this other side that is just this loving and caring. And of course, none of our earthly fathers are ever going to be perfect, but it just reminded me also then of Trent is not ahead of the curve in his speech, and he actually just recently started calling me Dada. And I told Peyton today, or more recently, I think, and definitely told Hesper recently, like the way that he says Dada. He whispers it. He doesn't say it like normal. Anytime he says my name or says Dada, he's Dada. Like, it was all worth the wait, just hearing him say that, the way he wants to come to me and wants me to pick him up, and Dada. It's just great. And if we can't see God that way, then we're missing out on the relationship that we should have with Him. And because we're missing out on the way that we see Him, we're just not seeing Him correctly, and that stops us from that relationship. So that's our word from the New Testament today. Thank you, Jesus, for sponsoring this video. All right. So I got a couple things to talk about. Amamaniere 3s came out today, and they came out on the Amamaniere website. There was already an Amamaniere raffle. I didn't get in on the raffle. By 2 o'clock or so today, the size 11, my size, was still there. This is the Amamaniere 3. I don't even remember what it's called. Maybe wet wash, wash cold, wash, I don't remember. Something along those lines. It's a white and blue colorway. It's not as nice as those up there, top right. But it is nicer than the While You Were Sleeping, which are, I've got them down there, right there, in the box. That are the black ones, much nicer than those, but not quite as nice as the original 3s. I want these. I want to wear these. I've got the other threes, the While You Were Sleeping threes. I'm not going to wear them. I need to get rid of them, even though I'm going to lose like $100. Part of that though made me not want to buy these today because there's like an extra $25 from Omanier for shipping. I might, if they're still there by the end of the day, I might decide I need to go back and get them. I'm not sure. Right now, I just want to wait for sneakers and get some free shipping. Here's the Union ones. I opened these not too long ago. I do really like them, but I don't want to keep them, and I probably lost $20-30 just by letting them sit here, being a little lazy, and not selling them. Now, this is where we're to today. This is the unboxing for today. These were shipped, and a really huge thank you to my nephew, Isaac, who got them for me. He texted me the day before. He's like, hey, there's going to be this surprise drop on Dick's Sporting Goods, DSG, and it's probably what you wanted. So be on the lookout. I was not on the lookout, but luckily he was, and he got them for me. Unfortunately, he hasn't ordered on DSG for a really long time, and he had his old address, like 2 years old. Luckily, it wasn't far from where he lived, but he was like, I'll get in touch. I went ahead and paid him because he spent his money on them, but I was a little skeptical on whether or not he was actually going to get them. He tried contacting DSG customer service, and they're like, no, we can't do anything. And he's like, oh, well, I'll just try to, like, since I've got the tracking number, once it actually gets picked up, then I'll try to redirect it. And DSG, the way he said it was really funny. DSG was like, that sounds like a great idea. Like, anything other than asking me because I can't do anything for you. Good job, DSG. But it seems like if you would have contacted DSG and said, hey, I got the shipping information wrong, here's the payment information I just used, like, you can verify it's you. I don't know. And then afterwards he was like, oh, well, there's a FedEx or UPS store at my Walmart, so I'll just pick it up with my Walmart. I'm like, I don't think it works like that, but I'll leave this up to you. Luckily, he and his mom, my sister, actually went to their old house and were able to pick it up from the people that lived there. So big thank you to both of them for getting this for me, because I was really upset about, not really upset, I was down about this. It caused me to get the 9s. These are the 9s, made this video on them not too long ago. It caused me to make sure I got those, because it's like, wait, things that you wouldn't really normally think would be selling out are selling out, and this is the one that sold out, and actually it's still going for over $300, even though these retailed for like, I think I paid him $230 something, which was still $10 more than what he paid. But these are a pair that I actually really wanted. Didn't think I was gonna be able to get them. My title of this video was Sleep and Taken Out. I slept on these. I did not react quickly to my JD exclusive access twice, and then I only went in with one account on sneakers on the release day and all else. But now here I have them. So thankfully there was a restock. Thankfully Isaac was paying attention and got them for me. Thankfully they got delivered in a way that they could actually get them. But I'm really excited to see these. Haven't seen these in person in a men's size yet. I'm pretty sure I saw them. I mean, I don't even know if I picked them up, but I know I saw them in the little kid sizes. So Trent kind of needs these. We're gonna have to figure out what to do with this for him. But I know I saw them in a grade school size. But I didn't really like pick them up and look at them too closely. So this is really going to be my first good look at them. Grandma got these from Isaac, picked them up at his house because she's over there all the time. And then I was able to pick them up from him. When I talked to her about coming over to get these one day while I was at work, she's like, oh, they're really nice. And I'm like, you looked at them? She's like, of course I looked at them. Like, why would I not look at these cool shoes? So Grandma even likes these, so tell your grandma about them. Grandma wouldn't wear them, I'm sure, because they're highs, and she doesn't really care for that. All right, so these are wrapped up in trash bags.
Like a gas station?
Gas station, yeah, gas station, like gas station bags. So this same kind of paper came on these Jordan 11s and a couple others, but this paper is known for marking shoes with black. We're just not going to need to worry about these because these are the Air Jordan 5 Retro OG. Black, white, and metallic silver. Yeah, so they're individually wrapped. They got this nice piece of cardboard between them. I don't know why this goes all out like this. I don't think I've ever seen this. I've only had 2 other pairs of 5s in the last 5 years. Moonlights, and then the Jungdang whatever lows that I've got down there because I don't want them anymore. I'm actually going to get rid of these too because I don't need them because these are the ones that I wanted the whole time.
Okay,
Okay.
I really like those.
So Peyton really likes these. I said this in the last video.
I was looking at those because I want to wear them tomorrow. But then I was looking at those. And
To
I was
church?
Yeah, because I have a pink shirt I want to wear. And then I was looking at those up there, the ones you just pointed at. And I was like, I haven't seen those in a minute.
They've been up there the whole time.
Yeah.
And I've worn those like twice.
I like the white and the blue.
Yeah, I really like these. And one of the big deals is the blue outsole. This might have been bluish before, but I don't think it was this blue.
Yeah.
And these don't have. They've got a black midsole and silver shark teeth. I mean, this is just. And the nubuck on these is. This is more like a suede. I think it is nubuck or nubuck-ish, or probably Durabuck.
Yeah.
I like this Durabuck better, but what the big deal is on these is the white cut sides.
Ooh, I like that.
Yeah, that and that is not OG, I don't think, but they are an OG colorway. That's why they have Nike Air on the back. These just have a Jumpman, but that makes me like these more, and the cut sides make me like them more. This is the OG tongue, OG lace lock. I'm gonna keep the white laces, although I'm pretty sure these were. Oh, this is two pieces.
You got a little chain thing.
A chink.
Chain thing.
Oh, a
I
chain.
saw a little thing.
There is a chain in here, but there's
little
nothing
chain.
hanging from the chain. Oh,
Oh,
there
there
it
it
is.
is.
Oh, there it is. So we got some black laces. I'm going to keep the white laces. This is the way he wore it, I believe, way back in 1990, I guess this was. Why this is not on here, I'm not really sure. Let's see what these smell like. Woo! That is just glue. Yeah, very strong glue.
Nailed it.
But I slept on these. 5s. It's an OG 5. It's a good colorway, but it's still just a 5. And in 2025, like February 2025, March 2025, whenever they released, they sold out. And I tried to pay more attention to the JD exclusive access, so I know other people that have JD exclusive access. So if I go ahead and get mine, take my exclusive access quickly, I can ask them to go and look at theirs a little bit later on in the day and see if they've sold out of the exclusive access to get a better idea of how these are going to do on release day if I don't do them myself. But I was probably just an hour or two late to get into my exclusive access, and these were in my size at least, and in most big sizes were sold out. The 9s didn't necessarily do that as quickly, and they are sitting a little bit. The 9s have basically no resale value. I should be able to get my money back out of them, but these are going for over $300. So thank you, Isaac, for not. I mean, I gave you some extra money, but not as much as you would have gotten had you sold these yourself. So I appreciate you letting me have them because I'm going to wear these
I like how the white goes all the way around. Like,
all the way around all the cuts. Yeah, all the cuts. That looks really good. This is reflective, 3M reflective, so it shines really brightly. You're not going to be able to see it with the phone unless you turn the flash on, but it's fine. The Air Jordan on the back of the tongue is upside down, like most 5s.
creative.
So I don't think there's much else to say about these, but man, I slept and I missed them. Got them now, so I got them late. So maybe you sleep and you take the L. You take the L initially, but hopefully there'll be a restock where you can get yours. What's coming up now? There's some. So the 3s, I want to get the 3s. Again, the sign that the Amamier release is telling me is that they're not going to be too hard to get on sneakers, although I can't sleep on that either. I need to go ahead and make sure I use enough accounts to ensure that I get at least one. If I get more than one, I can cancel it. Unless, I mean, I got to check. I haven't looked at the price of them, what they're going for on StockX, but on StockX, while you were sleeping, 3s and 4s are going for like way under retail, like $100 under retail, which means you could still pay all the fees on StockX and still pay less than you would have paid to get them, even with free shipping on sneakers. So maybe I just need to wait. I'll do that research. I'm gonna have that 3 here unless, the worst case happens and they don't even drop on sneakers, or they're very limited on sneakers, and then the price goes up. I'm gonna have those, so we'll talk more about that when I get here. But I'm glad I got these. The other 5s are going. Peyton, maybe. Yeah, I guess you can wear them. It's not a big deal unless it's pouring down rain. Let me get those really quick.
What about the black one, black and white ones up there?
Which ones?
The ones,
These?
yeah.
I don't need to go down. But
No, like, can I wear them? Or are you gonna sell them? Like,
I'm selling both of them. So I do really like these.
Are you
They're
joking?
kind of not comfortable though, and I do like the fact that this has white stitching. I actually might like the white stitching better than the more than the white cut on these. And I do like the pink. I like that this is OG though, and that this is a high. I think this being a low maybe kind of makes it a little bit less comfortable, which shouldn't be, but I think it does. Maybe I just need to tie them more tightly because I just leave them like this. That's the way I've always slipped them on.
Can't stand shoes like that.
The two, huh?
Can't stand my shoes loose.
The 2 or 3 times that I've worn them, and I let you wear pretty much any shoe you want, right?
Yeah.
Pretty much any shoe she asks me to wear, I let her wear. Some of them, though, I don't like it when she wears them because she has a very narrow foot compared to mine. And she just said she doesn't like her shoes loose and flopping around. I don't really like them flopping around, but I do like them loose. But she's going to take these and, like, pull the laces really tight, and then I'm not going to be able to slip my foot into them. So, but the reason why, if I didn't let her wear these, is just because I was going to get rid of them. Actually, her wearing them once or twice probably isn't going to make any difference in this shoe or this shoe because they're not going for anything over retail. They were sitting on shelves for a while. Actually, these didn't sit on shelves. These were fairly limited, but they still didn't have a whole lot of demand. But these were apparently limited and had a lot of demand, and I think that's also something that Nike's just doing. Nike pulled the Obsidian lows from their release last week, and then they re-released them this week. On sneakers, I can't see if it actually sold out. It's not telling me if it sold out or if it didn't sell out. I kind of doubt they would have sold out. They weren't going for much more. I don't think they were going for anything over retail on StockX for the last week. But why did Nike pull those? They said it was quality issues. They needed to pull some out. I don't feel like it would have been quality issues. I think they were trying to just entice people, kind of trying to build some more hype and getting them to sell out. Like, oh man, there must be something going on. I better get mine when they do release them. Because they literally, I'm pretty sure they pulled the release like early Saturday morning, late Friday night, and some retailers even missed the memo, didn't get the memo, and actually released theirs on Saturday morning. Some of the store retailers, like shoe site stores in malls, released some of them and then realized they needed to pull them. So it's just a weird situation. I don't think that you would do that at that point in time for quality issues, but who knows. I'm glad I got these. That's what matters. Hopefully we get some more shoes here in a little bit. There's one box that's behind Peyton that I need to open because I've just been feeling like I need this kind of a shoe. And I know that one of them is in there. I don't really remember the details, but I do remember the kind of shoe it is. We'll record that one in just a minute. To tell your grandma about the Jordan 5 black metallic, the OG. He wore this in 1990. He might have worn it a time or two after that too. Definitely in 1990. Tell your grandma because my mom, Peyton's grandma, does like them. Smash the like button. Make sure you comment on this video. Tell me what you think about, what was it, Romans 8:5? Something like that. Whatever it was. Tell me what you think about that. If you have any comments on that or what you'd like to hear from as a word from our sponsor on our next video, I appreciate it. I'll see you all next time.
You're so pretty.
Say bye.
Shoes.
Shoes. And I like shoes.
Fire! It's so cute.
Wow. What's that? Jordan 3 black cement.